Hello and welcome back to Young at War. Of course, I'm Maxie, your host. And today we have a really great topic. The topic is being a go-getter, being a go-getter from Miami. Not only are we going to talk about being a go-getter today, but we're also talking about how to be a go-getter and becoming a go-getter in Miami. My host, my co-host, I'm sorry, is Giovanni Prototype Masonette, of course. Everybody who doesn't know him, follow him on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. How can people find you?
Just find me at Ivy Prototype, or you can find you on Google search under at Ivy Prototype. Just Google it.
Yeah, people Google IB Prototype and you will definitely find him. Um, so not only are we going to talk about how to be a go-getter and what it is to be a go-getter in Miami, we're going to talk about life. That's one of my main things. When you tune into Young at War, you're going to tune into a life conversation, how to make yourself a better person and what it means to make yourself a better person. So, since the topic today is how to be a go-getter, we're going to talk about that, of course. Now, when you be a go-getter, agree with me or not, you have to have long-term goals,
All
as
the
well as
time.
short-term goals as well. But
Hmm.
having a long-term goal for yourself in life is basically like the number one thing for yourself. If you don't have no goals in life, then you're basically not gonna get anywhere. You have to have a goal in life in order to get somewhere, in order to know what you want in life. And if I didn't have a goal, I probably would be at home right now chilling, eating doo doo, eating. I'm serious.
That's true.
Do you have any main goals or any long term goals or short term goals that you have thought about for a couple years or that you just came up with that make you a better person or make you a go getter?
I just want to be financially stable and doing exactly what I love to do, which is music, and that's probably the biggest goal. But you gotta start off small, do the small goals
Hmm.
to get to the biggest goals. So that's the main thing. You know what I'm saying? That's what success means to me.
I agree. I agree. I think that having a goal of making money, like if you don't think to yourself, I'm gonna make money, or you don't think to yourself like I need to get to the top, even if you stay humble, because I'm still humble, of course. I know you're very humble.
True.
Even if you make it to the top and that's your goal, you need to have that goal because if not, then you're gonna stay in the bottom. There's nothing wrong with that, but you know, some people just have the goal to make it to the top, right?
Gotta want to be something.
Yeah. Another thing that we were talking about earlier is being afraid of the future. You can't be afraid of the future. Now, I know that's something that I'm afraid of the future. But I'm afraid of the future because I know that so many things are possible. I know that I have so much potential. And I know that I don't even know where I'm going to be 10 years from now. I could be anywhere. And anywhere means that I could be at the top. I could still be right here. I can be anywhere. So that's why I'm afraid of the future. But what do you think about that? Do you think that you shouldn't be afraid of the future when you be a go getter or like,
I mean, if you stay with that goal in your mind and that's all you're gonna stick to, everything else, I mean, the future's gonna handle itself. You know what I'm saying? Like if you putting that work in to be successful, or you keep working at your dream and getting closer, as long as you stick to it, you should be all right.
you're right? Do you think that do you think that you shouldn't think about the future or that you should like live in the moment? Because I know a lot of people that live in the moment.
You definitely gotta live in the moment. With the future coming, regardless you waited for it, you afraid of it or not, like, it's coming.
You know, one thing that I learned the hard way. I learned the hard way that life never stops for you, and that the sun will shine again tomorrow, and life goes on, and the future will come. Just like you said, the future will
Hmm.
come with or without you. So that's something to really think about. It is.
It don't get no more straightforward than that. Like
You're right. It really doesn't. That's cool. Now, you have to know what it is that you want. Like you said earlier,
hmm
you have to have a goal. Like some people don't have a goal, but they know exactly what they want, right? I think that if you know exactly what you want, know what you want, then you're gonna get somewhere, and eventually you're gonna have a goal for yourself. If you don't feel like doing something, you don't have the passion to do something specific, then don't do it. What do you think about that?
Whatever you do, you gotta have passion for it. If not, you're just wasting your time. You need to put that into channeling into something else.
hmm I have friends who actually um, they go to they have a certain degree where they go through certain things
Hmm.
for their family, or they don't do certain things because of their family, and they do something that their family would accept. I think that's wrong, because in the future, in the long run, I'm sorry to say this, but your family's eventually gonna either die out with time, or your family's gonna, separate with time. Yeah, family's always gonna be there. Family comes first. But at the end of the day, whose life is it? You know,
That's true.
it's true. Like, that's another thing I learned the hard
You
way.
gotta
Like,
be
come
satisfied with
on.
what you're doing for your own self.
Yeah, like you have to love yourself and be who you are. Because if you don't do something for yourself, then you're just living for another person. And your mom didn't raise you like that for no reason. No, my mom didn't. She, I remember when I was in high school, she would be like, "Don't be a follower. Don't do what your friends do." Because in high school
You
you
get
do
caught
high
up.
school stuff.
Hmm.
She'd be like, "Why are you getting in trouble? Or why are you doing what your friends doing? Don't be a follower." And I just be like, "I'm not a follower, mom. I'm not a follower." And now that I think about it, I'm just like, well, maybe I was living in the friend mentality.
Hmm.
I wasn't thinking about myself.
You was young minded.
Yeah, very young
That shit
minded.
happens.
Yeah, so that's something to think about. You have to always do what's best for yourself. Um, are you proud of every step that you've taken to get to where you are?
I'm proud that I still have the same passion for it, but I'm not
hmm
proud of myself as a
hmm
whole because I still got work to do. Still got
Yeah,
a lot. I still got a lot to do.
yeah. I think I feel the same way because I'm proud of where I am now. I've come a long way. I've come a
Hmm.
long way. I'm sure that you've come a long way. Um, growing up in Miami, I know that you came from New York
Hmm.
when you were really young, really young. And New York life and Miami life is somewhat similar, but you still have to go through certain situations living in Miami.
Hmm.
So I'm sure that being where you are now, being interviewed by me or being interviewed by anyone, doing shows. I saw your show the other day at Cafe Iguana, which was
Appreciate it.
awesome. You guys go on his YouTube and watch it. It was awesome. Um, but I'm proud of you, and I'm sure you're
Appreciate
proud
it.
of yourself. Um, take your time. Take your time with yourself. If you know that you're gonna get somewhere, if you know that you have potential to do something, don't take your time and don't do nothing about your time, because time is precious and time is money. But take your time in knowing that better things will come in life, right? And motivate yourself. I'm sure you motivate yourself every day, right?
All the time.
All the time. I motivate myself all the time. Like if I am having a bad day, or if anything happens, I still have the time and I still take the time to motivate myself, and I know that I'm still gonna, make myself smile. I make myself smile all the time. The other day I posted a thing on Instagram. It was like a textgram,
Yeah.
and it was like, oh, this is hilarious. Um, I it was like, oh, I was arguing with my self conscious because I was thinking something, but my conscious was telling me something else. So I caught myself making facial expressions, and then I looked in the mirror and I was like, shut the hell up! What am I saying?
You're
Like,
just laughing at
yeah,
yourself.
I started laughing at myself. So I motivate myself like that too. Yeah. What is something that you do to motivate yourself?
Um, I guess all the doubt when people tell you you should stop doing what you're doing.
hmm
Um, you haven't got paid for certain things you've been doing. You need to do otherwise, and it's like I just ignore all of that. But that fuels me to keep doing it because it's like I feel like I'm gonna prove everybody wrong once I get over that hurdle.
hmm
So I mean that's the biggest motivation I give myself. Knowing I got more than 100 songs online, and I'm sure there's a lot of people who probably even got more. But for me to keep sticking at it while not having too many people come to the shows, like it's motivation already.
I agree. I think that that's probably one of the best thing to do. Motivate yourself and know that no matter what anybody tells you, you're gonna do what you have to do.
Facts.
Facts, facts. Hashtag facts. Hashtag young at war. But we're gonna go on a break. When we come back from break, we're gonna continue talking about what being a go-getter in Miami is. We're gonna talk about life, of course, and we're gonna continue to interview Prototype, my dog. So stay tuned. Welcome back to Young at War. I'm Maxie, of course. I'm here with my co-host or my guest, Ivy Prototype or Prototype Giovanni. Um, Earlier we were talking about what being a go in Miami means, or how living in Miami and becoming a go-getter has been. I do want to go ahead and continue talking with Prototype. So I do have a few questions for him, and I just want you guys to get to know him better because you guys will be seeing him very, very soon on the big screen, and I can promise you that. So, Pro, since what age have you been performing or doing music?
I've been pretty much rapping since I was like 7 years old. Probably making sense 10, recording since I was 15, like or 13, middle school days, and so it's been a long time. Music has always been in me since I was small. I used to beatbox to my grandma's church songs while she was singing, and it was just always in me. Playing pots and pans for my drums, and so
Yeah.
since real small.
So it's already in you to be an artist, or that's just something that you know you wanted to do since you were very small.
Yeah, my family could co-sign. I used to be at family parties singing "Killing Me Soft" from the Fugees. That's like the group I love the most. Like they introduced me
Yeah.
to hip hop, and I used to just sing that song all the time and collect money with my hat, and it just been with me since.
He's a natural, people. He's a natural. So what or who inspires you the most to be better than you were yesterday, or be an artist, or be a better artist than what you already are?
You mean general?
In general, who or what? Because it could be anything.
Shit. My grandmother is probably the biggest inspiration to her for her to see me from little to be where I want to be, and you know what I'm saying. That's I want to show it more for her. It's the biggest motivation.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
know what's really funny? I feel the same way with my grandma.
Mhm.
Since I was little, she always told me, "Tú tienes algo," or "Tú vas a hacer algo," and it's funny because now she doesn't speak English, and I started to watch my shows.
Yeah, yeah.
But she'd be like, I saw you, you know, or Debbie. And it just makes me feel good because since we were small, I'm sure that since you were small, your grandma will always tell you you will rise.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's actually a song that will be one of my songs of the day soon. You Will Rise, you should hear it by Sweetback.
All right, I'll write it down.
Yeah. um, so what part of Miami do you rap?
I've been all over Miami. I mean, I've been in Hialeah the most, so that's the biggest constant. But I was in Cal City for a little time.
CC?
You know, 47th Ave. You know,
Yeah.
191.
Oh,
So.
okay. So you're right around the way. I am actually from Hialeah and Carol City. I was born in Carol City, raised in
Mhm.
Carol City. I lived in Hialeah for 4 years, and now I'm back in the good part of Miami Gardens, which is also called Hialeah for some reason. But yeah, we rep Hialeah and Carol City. You guys are gonna see Carol City more often, as well as Hialeah on the map. So look out for Prototype from Carolia. Right. What was it like growing up from in Miami? Because I know that you told me earlier that you came when you were small.
Mhm.
What's your nationality?
I'm Boricua.
Boricua. Boricua stand up.
All my
So you
cotita.
guys Idaho.
For real, you said it.
So being Puerto Rican, I know that you were raised in Miami from the time that you were small. But what was it like growing up in Miami, coming from New York?
A lot of at the time growing up, my dad wasn't around, so I was just learning from being around a group of friends and trying to impress everybody. So I was just lost as a kid. So highly like to be specific, will have you doing things you're not supposed to be doing and
Tell me about
getting
it.
arrested and you know what I'm saying. So I had to go through those troubles by myself to learn how to figure out what to do and what not to do. So I
Mm-hmm.
mean, that's the main thing. People fall into this crowd, fall in love with the crowd,
Mm-hmm.
think it's right, and then they learn. Well, probably they don't learn and get caught up in the same cycle, and they either live in a shitty life now or they learn from it, like me.
You said it. You said it. You're actually 100% right. You couldn't have said it better because I'll tell you one thing. When I moved to Hialeah, I was probably like 10 or 11, right? And of course, I used to rap Carol City because Hialeah was so different.
Yeah.
Hialeah is 10 times different than Carol City. For some reason, everybody would say hi to you with a kiss and a hug. And I'll just be like, what's going on? Like, I don't
Extra
know. It's
friendly.
different. But the first time that I skipped school was in Jose Marti, where I met you at.
Mm-hmm.
And I was with a group of friends, of course. I was a sixth grader. I was probably like 12. And we went, it was like 9 in the morning. School, it was our first period. And we catch the bus to Westland Mall.
Wow.
Why do you go to Westland Mall, group of 4 little girls at 9 in the morning? And the cop took us back to
I went to the
yeah,
mall too early. It was closed.
that was something that I was not supposed to do. I got in a lot of trouble. Um, yeah, so you're right. And when I moved back, when I in eighth grade, I went back to Lake Stevens,
Mm-hmm.
and everything was just different again. Like I didn't really get in trouble for some reason. If I did, it was because I was a new girl and I got in a fight. But they were picking on me, so
A
just for the
fighter.
record. um, but regardless, I agree with what you said. It is kind of hard, especially not having a dad around. So I agree with that. Now, what do you think makes you a go-getter? People, he's gonna tell us what things a go-getter is.
What I think
Makes you a
makes
go-getter.
me a go getter. I can't take no. No is not a. If anybody tells me I can't do something, I go ahead and try to do the opposite. As to my best of my ability to do it, I don't stop. I motivate other people when they say, "Oh, they can't do this." Motivate them to try to do it. So I mean, just speaking into existence is the biggest thing, and keep at it.
I think that you're 100% right on that. If you don't do that, then you have nothing. We're gonna go to a break really quick. We'll be right back. We're gonna play one of the songs of the day. Then when we come back, we're gonna also do the poem of the day. Stay tuned. ABC 1 2 3. Young at War, Maciel. And welcome back to Young at War. Um, as you guys already know, we were talking to Prototype, talking about life, talking about what life is here in Miami, what being a go-getter is, and how to be a go-getter. If you're not one, just listen to us, listen to this conversation, and you will be one by the end of it. Um, Life is hard. Life is definitely hard. But you have to remember, are you going to be a bitter person or are you going to be a better person? And that's one of the main goals in life, at least for me and Pro, being a better person than we were yesterday and not falling into temptation, falling into what it is to be in Miami. Because in Miami, for me at least, it's just the same thing over and over and over. If you let yourself fall into temptation, you're gonna be in temptation, and you're just gonna be down there with the temptationist. So for us, we just want to be better, and we're on the move, and we're on the way up. So up next, we actually have the poem of the day. Of course, it's written by me. I haven't had anybody submit their poems yet. But if you guys have any poems to submit, just submit them over to me on my Facebook or my Instagram. You guys will find my email. If you don't know my email, then it's simply MOMA, that's SIMPLYMOMA @gmail.com. So follow me and send me your poems, please, so I could read your poems, guys. Come on. So here's my poem. It's called When You Sleep. You ready? You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. When you sleep, why would I if I'm looking at you? That's what I've been doing, daydreaming of your dreams, watching you search for my body heat while staring at you from a distance. I don't want to wake you, so I wait. Then your gentle touch allows me to feel your skin, smooth and warm, perfect for me. That's it.
Short and simple.
Yeah, short and simple. What do you think about that poem?
I dig it. It's right to the point.
What do you think it's about?
It's about love.
It is. It's about love. It's actually about watching my boyfriend sleep. He sleeps like a little baby. He is so snores, and I'm just like, why are you snoring? But then I look at him and I can't wake him up. You know? If you guys ever felt that feeling, then feel me on this. That's one of my hashtags. Feel me on this. For real. Okay. So back at it. We're gonna continue talking to Pro and figuring out how to become a go-getter, because I know that being a go-getter is not hard at all. It's not. You have to have a main goal. And his goal is to be better than he was yesterday. His goal is to make music and be an artist, right?
Well, I'm an artist. I mean, I want to be successful as far as everybody knowing who Pro is.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's not everybody, then enough people that I can move. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to move people.
When you have a show,
mm-hmm.
do most of your people come to your show, or is it just like a specific place where people go anyways?
I got a few people that go on the regular, like White Boy Kev be out there all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Some of my people go, Giant be out there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it varies, it changes because sometimes they can't make it or time schedule is off. But
yeah, that's right.
But for the most part, it'd be more random than anything.
Okay, I see that. Now, I like a lot of your songs. Are your songs dedicated to anyone, or do you just make songs, out of your imagination or for the hell of it? Because some songs nowadays are good, but they just don't have like a motive or like a storyline or something.
Who is it direct to?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So are your songs direct to somebody or what?
For the most part, yeah. I mean, it's either something about me, how I feel about somebody, or maybe how somebody told me their story and I put it in my music. Like if I was them in their shoes. So yeah, everything is relevant to me.
I see. And now your songs, anybody could relate to them. They really can. So if you guys haven't heard any of his songs, go on YouTube. He has a million songs on YouTube. He has some of his shows posted on his Facebook. Can you tell people again how they can find you?
You can find me at facebook.com/prototype music page altogether, or you could just Google at IB Prototype. That's the letter I, B, then prototype right after.
Awesome. I know I've already logged on to your page, but if nobody else has, then do it. Now, if you could pick two songs that really hit your soft spot that you've made, it could be a collab or anything. What two songs would they be that hit your soft spot that are just your favorite songs?
There's one on my SoundCloud that is called Even If No One Believes. So that's one. And two has got to be Touch the People. Cause
I love that song.
Now I got to touch the people.
Yeah. Now, what are these two songs about? If You Believe, that song sounds, just the title of it, it sounds very.
Well, it's even if no one believes.
Oh, even if no one believes.
So
that
it's like even if no one believes, you still gotta push. You gotta be the one to believe in you more than anybody else. And then everybody else will follow suit when they see that you believe in yourself so much. They gotta believe.
That's true. If nobody knows that, then you're not a go-getter. If you want to be a go-getter, then believe in yourself. Because if you don't believe in yourself, I can promise you nobody will believe in you. And if you don't think that you can do it, nobody else will think that you can do it. That's one of the main things that me as an individual, I've learned by myself, because I wanted to do broadcasting. I wanted to do shows for a very, very long time, but I never got to where I am today if I didn't work, So I had to believe in myself in order to get to where I'm at. And I believe in myself every day, and I'm sure that you do, and that's why you made it into a song.
Facts.
Hashtag facts. Now, Touch the People. I heard that song. I'm not gonna tell you guys what that song is about because it is a song of the day. So yeah, it's gonna be on later. For my radio listeners, you guys are gonna hear that song later, and you guys are just gonna love that song because I had the song on replay when I heard it.
Cool.
His verse is not until the end, but either way, you just want to hear the song until you get there. But what is that song about? Tell the people what Touch the People is about.
Tell the people about what Touch the People is about.
Yes.
It's about touching the people in a positive way. You know what I'm saying? Because we caught up every day living in a negative world, and it's meant to break you down. But if you fall into the trap of letting it break you down, you will break down. So my role, at least as far as someone in the world, is like putting positive into the world so I can touch them in that way. Because they've already been touched negatively when they walk outside, when they breathe the air, you know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
if I could touch them any way positive, then hopefully it will strike somebody to keep thinking good, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody's just caught up in a
Right.
negative outlook.
Yeah, that's actually true. Especially, especially nowadays.
Mm.
Nowadays with the music that we have out, like the trap music. Don't get me wrong, I like trap music. I don't love it, but it's all right. Um, that music is what's out, is what
Mm-hmm.
motivates, or what we put into our minds.
Mm-hmm.
The TV shows nowadays, when we go out and we breathe the air, everybody's is negative. In Miami, everybody's like a road rage driver. You know, the other day when I interviewed Dreamcast, he
Yeah.
came from Atlanta,
Mm.
and tell me this is not funny. He was like, "Oh, I asked him what was one of the first things that you heard when you came to Miami." Guess what he said? Why are you so friendly?
That's what he heard.
That's the first thing they told him. Like, he
Wow.
was saying hi to somebody, he was at school or something, and somebody told him, "Why are you so friendly?" And I was cracking up because that's something that you hear in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the main things you hear in Miami. Why are you so friendly? And it's true. Like, if you're friendly, that's just something. I mean, you can be friendly. Some people are friendly. I'm friendly.
Yeah, it's good to be friendly sometimes.
It is good, but when you're friendly to the wrong people, or when you're friendly at the wrong time or at the wrong place, it's
Nothing good, nothing good.
not good, not good. So you definitely want to go ahead and make sure that you are with the right people in Miami, and that whoever is around you is positive,
Mm-hmm.
because just like that song Touch the People, it was a collab.
Yeah.
And who was that collab with?
Ramaj, who's originally from Chicago, he's in LA right now. He's actually doing pretty big. He's on the next mixtape that I'm about to put out.
Okay.
And Marsha Day. I don't think she really do music anymore, but that's a real cool friend. She's from Cali too. She's
Oh,
from Los
really?
Angeles, yeah.
But they're over there in Cali
They're over
now?
there, yeah.
Okay, cool. Now, that song was amazing. I love female rappers, and more power to the women,
Mm-hmm.
because women are downgraded.
Mm-hmm.
Anywhere in the world, women are downgraded. Especially here in Miami, where the girls have to be oye loca or stuff like that. No, I give more power to the people, and women who are humble and know their place in the world, right? We're just as equal as men. And in that song, she was just as equal as you guys. She was
Yeah.
she did it.
She was
She
on
did
point.
it. She was on point. And both the other verses, you and the other guy, what's his name? Ramaj, you guys just did it on that song. Like I said, I had that song on replay. I
Cool.
really did.
Appreciate
I really did. Now, you have many collabs.
A lot.
You have a lot of collabs.
Yeah.
Who do you think that was one of your favorite songs that you did a collab with? Because I know that most of your songs are collabs.
I had dropped a mixtape with somebody from Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
His name is A-Dub South.
A-Dub South, look him up, guys.
Shout outs to A-Dub. That's like my brother. Like, we met online,
Mm-hmm.
made music, and we got over like 30 songs. We could do like 2 shows.
Oh, wow.
So I see the most potential in him. Since I met him, started working with him. That's the only person I did a mixtape like that with, to collab with. I'm actually working on another mixtape with my people's Birdie Bird and Pistol P, and
Mm-hmm.
we actually going on at it real hard. We performed this weekend too. So
Yeah, that was the performance that you did at
Iguanas, yeah, last season.
Iguanas.
Touch the mic.
All right, so Holla, Pistol P, and Birdie Bird.
Yeah, official.
Hey, you guys look them up as well. Now, you did say that you see the most potential in the young man from Georgia. What was his name?
A-Dub South.
A-Dub South. Do you think that he was as much of a go-getter as you are, or do you think that he has that go-getter mentality?
I mean, I don't know how he is now as far as the music, because for what I'm understanding, he took a little break.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe once he can see how much I believe in his music, then he'll get back to it. You know what I'm saying? Life will throw you off track sometimes, so it could be life getting in the way. So, but
yeah,
it definitely potential wise, dope.
it happens. Life happens. If y'all never heard that quote, you never heard the
Life.
quote "Life happens,"
Yeah, I heard it.
and it does. But we just hope that A$AP South is doing, and more power to him because he is, as Prototype says, a really good artist. So, do you have any upcoming shows?
I'm performing this Friday at the
Where?
Rolex.
At the Rolex. Oh,
Yeah.
you gonna be at the legs?
And then Sunday I'll be at Club Secrets.
Where's that at?
It's on Biscayne. I think I got the address on the phone. I don't. I'll give it to you when I'm done.
He'll be there.
But yeah, Club Secrets. It's a strip club. Both of them.
Oh, they're both strip clubs.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's gonna be so live. What are you performing, a show or songs?
I'm performing like 2 or 3 songs.
Yeah. What songs? Do you know?
At the moment, now. Well, we for sure gonna perform. Always Been Real.
Mm-hmm.
It's on my SoundCloud right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll be Prototype.
Always been real. Always been real.
Always,
Tag facts.
always been real.
Now, these shows that you do you have a manager or do people hit you up to book them? How does that go?
Well, I've been getting actually hit up a lot recently to be at certain venues, but I don't got a manager right now. I'm just doing everything on the fly by myself. You know what I'm saying? Everything you see from flyers to song posted, like song flyers is all me. I'm doing everything.
And how do you do your song flyers? You do them like on an app or do you have like a program?
I do it online. Like I think it's called pixlr.com that I'll be using. Yeah. So,
really?
Yeah.
You know, I do my own flyers, but not flyers. They're just like, I don't know how to call them. I guess they're flyers.
Yeah.
But like
whatever. Business cards.
No, like my posts. Cause okay. I do my stuff my own self.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I make my own posts and I do everything myself. So whenever you look at my posts, that's me. I do, all the graphics and all the designs. Somebody who owns a graphic website actually hit me up on Instagram. They were like, wow, where do you get your graphics from? Like, and I do them myself. And I was like so hyped about that.
That's love right there.
Yeah, it is. And he added in everything and he liked all pictures. And I was like, wow, thanks. So in your shows, I know that your shows are always live. Have you ever performed at a strip club before?
Yeah, I performed at King of Diamonds.
Oh, how was that? That's big.
The first time I ever went there, I performed there, so it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And have you ever experienced anything crazy at any of your shows or during your shows?
No,
you can say it.
Nah, I haven't. I mean, hopefully that doesn't happen, but nah, not to this point. Everything's been love, so
yeah.
No animosity, nothing.
Have you ever had like a crazy experience at any of your shows apart from just being live as hell?
Nah, I wish I had a story like that to share, but I don't got
it. No, I mean, it happens. People have stories, but if you don't...
unfortunately or fortunately, that, so.
Yeah, you don't know if it's fortunate or unfortunate.
Maybe the next time on the show, maybe I got a story from the...
Yeah, next time you come, hopefully you have a crazy story, because I know that strippers are always live, like, especially if you're with the right crowd.
Of course.
Strippers are always live, and if the strippers are, like, nice and they know how to dance, then you just have a lot more fun. I want to give a shout out to Cardi B.
Yeah.
I love her. I just love her so much. Not because she's a stripper, but because she's so real and she's come such a long way just being real. And I give more props to anybody who is real.
Always been real.
Always been real. Hashtag facts. So tell everybody at home why you think that you yourself should be at the top, or why you think that you deserve to be at the top.
Why I deserve to be at the top? It don't get no realer than me. Like, I'm someone you could relate to. Like, I'm not worried about looking a certain way. Like, somebody's always worried about looking a certain way in front of somebody else. I really don't give a damn about stuff like that. There's no filter to me. Like, I'm straight down with everything. So, right. And my music is the same.
Right. It is. Your music, like, if you guys listen to his music, you guys could go right now when we finish the interview. Look up Prototype on YouTube, and every song that he has is just like, you hear everything, you hear every single one of his words, you know exactly what he's saying. He paints a picture in your mind, and the beats are sick. His flow is sick, and you guys have to help him, or you guys have to support him, because if you don't, you just you're not on the hashtag always been real. Don't
You're
hashtag
not
always
on the
been real if you
team.
don't follow him because guys, it's a given. Now, what is something positive that you had experienced when you became a go getter, when you knew that this is one that you wanted to do this? What is something positive that you can experience or that you have experienced?
Just probably getting somebody else up to do what they felt like doing. Like my boys always liked doing music until I gave him a CD of making beats, and he started making beats. And then now he'd invested like $2,000 in MPCs and pianos,
Wow,
and so he's on the same grind that I'm on. So that's like the biggest thing that I seen.
motivating other people.
Yeah, like
You know what's funny? When I started Young at War,
mm,
well, the reason I started Young at War was originally because one of my friends, shout out to her, Gina Diaz. When we were in high school, we used to have a slam book, or it
a
was something
slam
like
book.
this. It
That's
was a
old.
book that we used to write in, and this girl was like the poetry queen. Like this girl had poetry flowing out of her hands, out of her ears, out of her eyes. And this is a girl that you would never think had poetry in her or had it in her because she was really quiet. Um, she was really quiet and she was just like not popular. I don't want to say I was popular, but she was just not in the in
In the mix,
crowd.
yeah.
She was not in the mix at all. And then she was one of my friends. And whenever I would bring her over to my table where all the cool people were at, they would be like, "Who is this girl? Like, why are you here? Why is she here? Who is she with? Who is she
Outcast.
with?" And I'll just be like, "Hold up, she's with me, guys," because she was so cool.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you sit there and talk to her, she'll just sit there and talk to you like I'm talking to you now. She was so cool. So we had a sandbug. And one day she just never came back to school. I don't know what happened. She moved to DR. And I hope she's watching this now. I love you, Gina, and this is for you, or this is for anybody else who has
Yeah.
that mentality that they could do it, and she could get very far. And she motivated me to actually start writing poetry.
That's dope.
She
She
did.
probably don't even know that.
I don't think she does, but if she doesn't, then look where I'm at today. Just because she used to write. Oh my God, I used to like read her stuff and just be like, how
And that was when you was young, so imagine if she's
yeah.
still at it,
Yeah, I think, well, I don't know if she's still at it.
you would
But
hope.
I hope she is, because if she's not, I'm going to hit her up because I have her on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I found her on Facebook. So I'm going to hit her up and let her know she has to do this. She actually reposted one of my posts the other day. So yeah, she's still my friend, even though she's very far away. Um, so what is something positive that you could tell people back at home to do or like to motivate people? Because I know that that's one of the things that that helps you be a
Mm,
better person.
mm.
What is something that you could tell people back at home to be better than they were yesterday?
Well, so I can make it as simple as don't make the mistake that I make. I used to like get upset if people not coming to the show or wish that people would come. Like you just gotta just look in the mirror, be the best you could be, no matter if people was there to come see you or not come see you. Just have that passion when you know, as an artist, I create music and I don't even care if the person in the next room is gonna listen to my music. I just want to feel comfortable doing it and feel happy
Mm-hmm.
that I got it done without worrying about all this extra stuff that might
Mm-hmm.
come or not come.
Yeah.
So just do for you and make sure that you happy at the end of the day.
Yeah. Oh my God, I can't believe you just said that. Happiness for me is like one of my top priorities. It really is.
Hmm.
Because there's been days where I've been sad. There's been days where I wish this or I wish that, or I wish I wouldn't have done this, or I wish I wouldn't have done that, or that I just think too much on my past
Hmm.
experiences and I'm not happy. But I've learned that, like I said earlier, life goes on. And no matter if you have these thoughts in your head, life is gonna go on. So you have to learn how to balance yourself out, make yourself a better person, and learn from your past experiences, like you said.
You got to keep it pushing.
Keep it pushing. Facts. Hashtag. um, so we're gonna go to break in a few. We're gonna come back and we're gonna continue talking about what being a go-getter in Miami really means. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Young at War. Thank you for tuning in to Young at War while we talk about life, talk about being a better person, motivating ourselves, and in all, being a go-getter. What it means to be a go-getter in Miami is something because I see more and more people coming out of Miami. And it's true. More and more people are coming out of Miami. More and more people are coming or rising from, I don't want to say the hood because every hood in Miami is not really hood, you know? But we call every hood that we live in the hood,
Yeah,
right?
short for neighborhood. Actually.
Short for neighborhood, exactly. So we're going to make it out the hood, out the neighborhood or whatever. And we're going to be better than we were yesterday. And we're going to show everybody whoever let us down or whoever spoke down on us or whoever didn't even believe in us. I know that me and you both had these people. We did. And that's just what makes us better and not bitter. And we're going to get higher than we ever thought just by believing in ourselves. And if you guys believe in yourself, you're going to get higher than you ever thought. Right? So I just want to go ahead and recap a little bit about Prototype, my guest. Where can people find you? Let them know so they could go ahead and look you up really quick.
You can find me at facebook.com/prototype music page. And if you on Twitter or on Instagram, it's at IBPrototype, the letter I, the letter B, and prototype.
Did you have a MySpace page?
I had a MySpace. It's the
I
same
remember
thing.
that.
MySpace at IBPrototype. I haven't checked
Damn,
it
that
in
was
years.
so long ago.
I got music there probably from the old CDs and stuff. So yeah, you could go on to
Now
MySpace.
that you just said that, I remember having your MySpace page because MySpace page was years ago, but
MySpace was it.
MySpace was it back in the day, especially when you could change your daily song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to have some of my songs on other people's pages, which is cool. So.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. You've always been a good artist. Quick question. I know that this is probably a little, I don't know. You tell me what you think about this. Loving yourself.
Loving myself?
Mm-hmm.
What is it? What?
Do you think that how do you feel about that?
About loving yourself?
Yeah, because
that's the key to life.
Some people
That's the key to life. You gotta love yourself. Like, that's where you could put it. You gotta love yourself more than anybody could ever love you. Mm-hmm. Especially if you ever think about loving somebody else, you gotta love yourself to the fullest. So
yeah, that's one thing that you should always keep it in mind. If you don't love yourself, nobody will ever love you. If you don't love yourself, well, I said that wrong. If you don't love yourself, you can never love anybody else. Because I'm sure that people will love you, but they wouldn't be able to get to you because you don't love yourself. And until you love yourself, it could be friends, it could be boyfriend or girlfriends, it could be a cousin, mother, sister, brother. If you don't love yourself, there's no way that person could help you get to where you want to be. And you need to have people around you that could help you get to the top.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have like a posse, or do you have certain people in your family, apart from your grandmother, of course, that want to see you get to the top, that just motivate you so much?
Yeah, going to New York recently, my father, you know what I'm saying? We in the greatest terms. My brothers always want to see me up, my best friends, I got a group of like 3-4 best friends. Shout out to all of them, yeah. So yeah, that's
shout out to the best friends.
they are.
Yeah. And some of your songs are very, very lovey-dovey. I love them because they're, you know what? I like trap music. I don't love it.
I'm a lover boy.
You're a lover boy. And do you have a lover girl that you dedicate these songs to?
Nah.
Because there was one that I heard. I can't remember the name of it, but it was just like, back in the day, you've always been there for me, and I'm sorry that I hurt you. Like, that just sounds so real. Like, it sounds like you really put your heart into that song.
Oh, it's definitely real.
But it probably wasn't dedicated to somebody special. Will we know? Maybe not. Next question. Now, to be a go-getter, you have to know that you want to see others around you just as high as you want to be, right? Do you think that, because to me at least, nobody around me wants to do broadcasting, and nobody wants to be in the media industry. But that don't mean that I don't want to see them get as high as they can possibly be. I still give everybody that motivation daily and tell them they still have potential to do whatever they want. And even if they don't have potential, I still want to see them succeed some way in life. Do you do that, or you just be like, oh,
I mean,
see you
I
later, dude,
I
or
probably lead by example. You
yeah,
know, like just being amped about going to a show, not knowing if there's gonna be 5 people, 30 people, 100 people. I'm just ready to get on stage and just let that out. You know what I'm saying? So I guess I lead more by example when people see me still at it doing the shows, and we probably have to ask those questions to them. But I
yeah.
feel like I do my part.
Yeah, I think that leading by example or just being a leader yourself, you will you will definitely motivate people, and everybody who is around you will have that 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 thought in their mind to do better. Okay, so um, you have to find some ways to make yourself better each and every day of your life. What are some ways apart from music that you derived away from the hood or you derived away from temptation and started doing music and focus on that? Unless you're still doing street shit.
Nah, I'm a good person, man. I don't know, going to school, getting back into school into sound engineering, um, playing basketball helped me get away from a lot of stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
So sports,
Yeah,
less being in the street. So
yeah, that's true. We're gonna be right back. We're gonna go to break in a few. We're gonna be right back and continue talking about what it is to be a go-getter in Miami. Stay. Thank you for tuning into Young at War. I'm your host, Maxie, and here we have my guest, Prototype. Now, I do want to let you guys know that this is the last show of 2014. In 2015, we will be back, we'll be better, and like I always say, love yourself. Hashtag Young at War, hashtag facts, hashtag always been real. Now, since this is the last show, I also want to let you guys know that I will be sad. I'll miss you guys. Miss me and log in to Facebook and look me up. Facebook, Masi, Moma, Abru, or even Young at War. Also on Instagram, my Instagram name is Maxie, Maxie underscore y'all, Young at War. Um, Prototype, how can people find you?
at Abi Prototype, the letter I, then B, then Prototype on everything. You can Google it and you'll find me.
Find him on Google, Facebook, YouTube, whatever you want. You're gonna find him no matter what. And I'm sure that people up there where they have the record labels and stuff, y'all gonna find him too very, very soon. So look out for Prototype. I do want to go ahead and thank you guys for tuning into Young at War. I hope you guys learned something about being a go-getter and living the Miami life. Do you have anything that you want to say? Any shout outs or anything?
Shout out to White Boy Cash. Shout out to Dropping Them, Giant, Birdie Bird, Pistol P, all my peoples.
Shout out to Moma. No, I'm just kidding.
Of course, Mama.
So shout out to my grandma, shout out to my mom, my boyfriend, my sister, and my cousin who just had a baby, Natalie. I love all my family and my friends. So
Shout out to Ovi too.
shout out to Ovi. and everybody in Carol City, Carolina. So tune in for the next Young at War in January. Carolina. No, Carolina.
Yeah,
Carolina. So yeah, tune into Young at War, and good night.